Gorgeous bright souls, hello and welcome to Ascension's Love with Alice. It's such an honour to be here. We are doing a super full moon reading on Thursday the 24th of June 2021. We have the last of 3 super full moons. It's going to be in the sign of Capricorn. It's a very powerful one. It's going to come after the summer solstice, winter solstice if you're in the southern hemisphere. I'm really looking forward to seeing what the cards want to share with us, what our angels and guides and ascended beings of love and light wish to share with us, because it's already feeling very, very powerful with all the transits we've got going on, all the retrogrades, the eclipse portal, everything that is happening. This full moon on the 24th is kind of the elongated extension of the eclipse portal, right? So between the last eclipse that we had with the new moon in Gemini, that solar eclipse that we had, and the full moon, that 2 weeks was like a manifestation portal. It is a manifestation portal, so that's why this video is coming out a little earlier than they usually do, because we've got so much to make of this space, this gap. So do stay tuned. Let's have a look at what the angels and guides, the beautiful beings of light, wish to share with us on this gorgeous, gorgeous day. I'm going to apologize in advance for any background noise that you may hear. We have some gorgeous friends and neighbours doing some wonderful renovations on their home, so you may hear that from time to time, but that's all okay. That's just part of the fun. It's part of real life. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Do hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. If you don't yet follow me on Instagram or on Facebook, please feel very welcome to join that space. We have our first goddess circle, which is in the Facebook group, the Isis Dream Temple. So that is linked in the description box below this video, or the group is anyway. And also on Instagram, that is where we go live doing card readings and that. So if you love a little bit of extra guidance, then you will be able to find me on there. So do be sure to find me on all those platforms. But for now, let's get cracking, shall we? So, beautiful angels, guides, ascended beings of light. Let's have a look. What energy do we have coming through for this super full moon in Capricorn? What do you want to tell us? Thank you. We've got Babaji. We've got a really high energy coming in there. We've got St. Francis coming in. Lady Nada. What graceful energy we have. I can never say this one. Avalokitesvara. I can't say that one. I'm going to apologise in advance for that beautiful being of light. for my mispronunciation of that name, but seeing the other person's point of view. And we've got Katumi on the bottom here, staying focused. So really gorgeous energy to start with. Let's just make sure all these cards are in view. Let's get them lined up here. Now, already there's a very graceful energy coming in here. You know, these are very graceful energies. Babaji is a very enlightened energy. It's like the highest dimension, master of light, really, Babaji. Phenomenally high. And you know, Katumi, he runs, if I'm not mistaken, he kind of looks after the Brotherhood of the Golden Robe, right? And that's a really fascinating energy to have coming through in this manifestation portal up to this super full moon. So really interesting, because I think these two are paired very well together, because the Brotherhood of the Golden Robe is, you know, there are certain souls on this incarnation right now who have agreed to take on not only their own karma, but also absorb that of those around them, to actually transmute and alchemize through their physical vessel, right? And I know personally, from personal experience of this particular beautiful brotherhood, it's really interesting. You know, we're very sensitive, so if you resonate with that, you know, that's an energy that is running through, because there is a lot of alchemy, it appears to be happening. But at the same time, we've got Babaji coming in, which is this, like I say, the highest dimension of ascended being that has ever really graced our planet, you know. So for Babaji to be here at the start of this energy, right, with then following with, you know, St. Francis and Lady Nada, this very graceful, very graceful, very peaceful energy following that, and then see the other person's point of view. You know, it's kind of like the energy of compassion, the energy of sacred feminine, you know, but also the sacred masculine. It's very balanced here already, so I'm finding that really interesting. But I want to pull some more cards just to kind of get a bit more of a feeling about why these beautiful beings of light are here. So let's see, what are you telling us? Which cards are we using today? Okay. tell us about this super full moon, tell us about this manifestation portal, and tell us about these beautiful beings of light that are here with us right now. What do they want to share? Communication is key. New moon in Gemini. Well, we did just have that new moon in Gemini. How did we start out this video? That new moon in Gemini solar eclipse, right? Hold your vision. And you know what? What I love about this is that, you know, hold your vision, right? This fixed moon card, and we've got follow your heart coming in with the message of St. Francis. You know, this is exactly it, right? You know, what is your soul? Like, are you aligning with your soul, with your heart, or are you aligning with the fears and the shadows that may be appearing right now in the world? Because, you know, the time that this is getting recorded, the Schumann resonance has had a blackout for over 100 hours. You know what I mean? It's the energy coming in is so powerful. There's so much light coming in. It's literally the most that like our human technology can't even comprehend it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, with all that light coming in, you know, it's very it causes a lot of pressure in our physical body, right? We want to be eating raw foods, we want to be or you know, clean, organic, maybe even raw foods, just to help keep our vessel really clean, drinking plenty of water and getting outside and grounding, because when we do that, we're allowing the highest alignment really possible. So I love that the fixed moon is coming in here after this new moon in Gemini, because whatever it is that you were working on, that was being released, that was being undone, that was being manifested around this new moon, the seeds that you're planting, it's really important to not get distracted, right? There's going to be a lot of distractions around, and a lot of things that may take you away from your soul path, right? And that's just the chatter of the 3D earth stage, you know, and that's okay. That's okay. And I love how Katumi actually is coming in here with that message of, you know, staying focused, and absolutely it is, because we've got a job here to do, right? Look at, we've got full moon in we got the full moon in Gemini coming in as well, so a lot of Gemini energy. How beautiful. The answers you need are coming. And you know what, this is talking about this cycle, right? You know, there is a cycle that is really about to fully complete, and it's not even partially. It's like this super full moon, you know, on the 24th, it's actually going to bring us an opportunity to really complete cycles that we haven't thought about before, and then we can take action. Yeah, look at that. So, you know, the super full moon is in Capricorn, right? It's in the sign of Capricorn. So the new moon in Capricorn was 6 months ago. It was in January, right? So, and what was it, like the 13th? I can't remember. Whenever it was in January, you know, whatever was set there, whatever intentions were set, whatever kind of you were hoping for, and you know, it was powerful because it was near that new year as well, that energy coming in, and that 111 portal. Whatever you were starting there, that's actually going to come up to complete now. So whatever seeds you were planting, that's going to be able to be harvested, right? And you know, the Gemini new moon, full moon is kind of like is showing us that with how these three cards here are showing up. You know, yes, communication is going to be important. We'll have just exited Mercury retrograde by the 22nd, right? And what's really interesting about that is that, you know, Mercury retrograde does have that shadow before and after. So there will still be like remnants of it, but what's really impressive here is like that introspection that we'll have gone through, because you know, Mercury rules Gemini, right? So I don't think it's a coincidence that these two are out together. I don't think it's a coincidence that it's like the new moon and the full moon in that order. I don't think it's a coincidence at all whatsoever. And I love here that we have this mother, wife, sister, daughter, Lady Nada energy, that Atlantean priestess energy, right, coming in above this, right? Because you know, it's being able to see both sides of it, to see the bigger picture, see what has perhaps been veiled, see what has been hidden, right, by the beautiful veil of the new moon, the dark moon. You know, that cloth is off, right? You know, and we can see her in her glory and her majesty, right? And that energy is coming through, because when it is the super full moon, Mercury will have left retrograde. It'll have stationed direct again. It's retrograding in Gemini right now as well, so I presume it's going to go direct in the next sign of Cancer, but I'm not 100% certain on that, so don't quote me on that. But you know, all these kind of anything that you may have been uncertain about when it comes to contracts, communication, work, you know, relationships, that feels like it's going to actually be very, very clear by this point next week, you know. by this point then. And until then, it's kind of like the last stretch, right? You know, keep your focus, keep your vision, keep your heart open. This is so important. This is a heart-based week. This is not a time to be analytical. And I mean Mercury as well, you know, is very kind of it can be very logic based, you know, because Gemini is an air sign, right? And full of that inspiration. Mercury brings in that communication, that air energy as well, in many ways. And we can be kind of feeling like we want to be taking action. We're a bit tired of kind of waiting, but it feels like this week running up to the super full moon, so important to stay balanced. Actually, I think this is a very practical card. Actually doing some yoga to kind of ground yourself, balance yourself, and slow things down is going to be so important. And then I love here as well, you know, with these two cards coming in, it's like the fog will have cleared around whatever you're worrying about, whatever's going on in your world. The fog may have cleared a little bit, and you know, you'll know what to do, you'll know what steps to take, right? But it's going to be important to keep other people in mind a little bit, you know. And when I say that, I mean, I don't mean to say, or we don't mean to say, to kind of put them in the spotlight, but it's kind of just kind of be aware of the other people that are going to be part of any decisions, right? Or any kind of things going forward. Just be aware of other people, right? On the bottom of the deck, we've got nothing is set in stone, right? And this is the thing, is like, you know, with these waves as well, these waves coming in on that card, is that in the view? Let me just move that up. With these waves coming in on this card, saying, you know, nothing's set in stone, it's the mutable moon, things are ever changing, right? And this week, running up to the super full moon, there's going to be so much of this wave and flow and kind of like the ups and downs of the tide. It feels like that's going to continue, like you know, this past week, and maybe we'll have to check out the Angelic Guidance for the week ahead to kind of get more into this, but it's really super interesting that you know, we can lose our focus if we're getting stuck on each wave that's coming in, right? So here's a wave of emotion, of something coming in, and it's like, oh, there's all of our focus on that. But it's like, no, actually, what's the bigger picture here? We need to see the whole thing, right? In order to actually move forward. So I want to get some cards. I want to pull some cards right now, specifically for the full moon. What do we need to know about the full moon? So, the fairies, hey? Okay, I'm going to be working with fairies right now. And you know what, guys? We have a couple of slots available next week for Angelic Guidance, for quantum healing sessions. So if you do want to go into your Akashic Records, if you do wish to do some quantum healing, if you wish to do any rewrites, so just get a lot of clarity from your angels and your guides, I do have some slots open for some one-to-ones available. Do you feel very, very welcome to reach out to me. Just let me know that you are interested in that, and we can have a little chat and get you booked in. So we have the first card coming in, which is new location. We've got feeling safe. Magic of nature. Right, so this full moon, you know, you are really going to be in a different place, right? And it's going to feel so much more safer than it has been before, you know. Financial flow, yeah, of course. On the bottom of the deck, letting go. So this full moon is going to be the last kind of letting go, this last wave of deep release, right? This breathe out, right? This letting go of everything that has been accumulating and piling up and kind of getting, you know, what's the word? Kind of the pressure has been on, right, over the past few weeks through these moons and these eclipses, and this is kind of like that last big kind of this climax of releasing it all, releasing that energy, receiving it, but actually bringing it through you to ground rather than it getting stuck and making it feel like dense and heavy, you know. Where can I put this? Let's see, let's put you here. You are going to be in a completely different space. And look, 1, 2, 3 butterflies, 3 supermoons, you know. The waters that you're traversing are going to be smooth and calm and peaceful. Look at all the blue in this card. You will be a completely different you, right? A more evolved, a more refined version of you with this full moon. That's what it's bringing to you. That's what it's offering you. And it's offering you that with the structure of safety as well. And this is something that, you know, whenever we have that change coming through us or becoming us, you know, we don't always feel safe in it, right? Because change is unknown, right? It triggers our inner child. We have to reclaim the inner child, you know, and kind of soothe the inner child, and our shadows, which are very unconscious, right, are going to come up without us realizing, because that's part of the shadow. The shadow is unconscious, right? But it's so interesting because it's like, you know, you've done so much work, right? You've done so much work in your dream time, in your daytime, your awake time, on clearing and healing and just kind of releasing what doesn't serve, and just kind of, you know, letting it go, that it's just going to have like a new sense of stability that it's going to be hard to explain. I'm finding it difficult to actually explain, but it's like this new sense of stability that's going to be coming through, you know? We've got the magic in nature, and once again, we've got 3 fairies here. We've got 3, and, you know, it's interesting because 3 is a very magical number. It's an alchemy number. It's the number of flow. It's the number of transmutation. It's, you know, alchemy of manifestation. It's like Christ-like energy. It's various things depending on whether you're looking at the angel numbers or the cosmic numbers, etc. But I'm very interested in the 3 again, you know, and what's really nice is that, you know, Mother Nature, she is calling us, right? So a lot of things that have been coming up for us have been associated with divine, with feminine wounding, right? So moving from the distorted or wounded feminine to the sacred, to the divine version of that, right? So things may have been coming up that are just really interesting. You know, allergies are one of them, right? So people that don't usually suffer with hay fever, for example, have been suffering with hay fever, right? Really, really powerfully. And, you know, there's lots of people speculating about, you know, why that may be and what's going on and what other people are doing, but actually it's not really about that. This is about how we feel, how our connection with our divine mother is, right? And it's coming up for us to clear. That's why things like this come up in various different ways, but that's just one way, you know. That's just one way. So it's really, really interesting because it's like, and once again, we have all these circles here. It's like, this could be a moon, this could be something else, but it's like this circle here, you know, the number 3, right? Big moon here. Really, really interesting. So definitely being outside more often than inside is going to be so helpful, just to like, we're carrying a lot of electrical charge, right? We are carrying a lot of electrical charge right now. And if we're more than normal, and if we're not getting outside to ground it, then it kind of, it sparks off within us, and it doesn't feel good, and it doesn't help us align to the higher timelines. And that's really what we want, right? Because the more consistently we can stay in the higher timelines, the more we can manifest, right? Whatever that is. And that abundance, you know, looks like various different things. It doesn't just look like financial flow. It looks like love. It looks like bliss. It looks like joy, happy scenarios. On the external world, in the internal world, is that beautiful multiple spiral coming down and going straight into the earth and back up again, and both ways, you know. So there is so much to be given. There's so much here, and you know what, you may find that you are getting an unexpected payout. That's the message for a few people that are watching this video. There may be a contract being secured, something to do with work, something to do with financial surprise. That might be for you. So that won't be for everyone in this video, but it will be for a certain few, depending on where what your natal chart looks like. So that's really interesting because it's going to kind of be like, wow, not expecting that. And that's the beauty of it, you know. That's the beauty of what the earth and the universe wants to do, is like, you know, we can't micromanage how things arrive to us, and if we do, that's when they stop arriving. We have to just surrender it and let it be and let it flow. And when it flows, holy, is it cool. Most unexpected, beautiful, you know, everything. Right, so let's just pull. We've pulled in a few different messages here. We've looked at the week, kind of running up, the manifestation aspects of the week running up to the super full moon. We've looked at some of the energy of the super full moon. You know what, let's just have a look at what might be challenging us with this super full moon. Can we ask that, please, guys? What might be challenging us? Goddess, energy, insight, source, daydream, fire opal on the bottom. So it reminds me of like yoni eggs. So if you're a female watching this, in a female anatomy watching this video, and you have a yoni egg, maybe it's a good week to work with that egg, to help release and let go. But let's see here. So what might we find challenging? We've got this silver energy, this white energy, and this daydream. So that's very like silver. that goddess energy. So the silver can either be coming from the floor, coming from the EarthStar chakra, right? Coming up through that EarthStar chakra, up your column of light, up to the top, which is this white, right? The crown. It feels like it may still be a little bit cloudy for a few people. And if you are reliant on your intuition, if you are very balanced, normally in your divine feminine, and you work with that intuition quite a bit, you may feel like there is a bit of fog, a bit of cloud around your ability to receive in the flow up to this super full moon, right? But that's okay. That's when that happens. It's kind of like everything getting mixed up. It's kind of like if you have a pond, right, and you chuck a brick or a stone into the pond, and then all the kind of the stuff from the bottom, the muck from the bottom gets kind of floats up to the surface, and it goes all cloudy. It's kind of like that. But the good thing is that when that all comes up, you know, you can clean it, it'll resettle, it'll be clearer than before. You know, it feels like that may be happening in the run up here. It feels like there is going to be a lot of divine feminine energy being drawn in, especially because we have Lady Nada coming in here as well, you know. But it feels very much, and this letting go energy, but it feels very much like, you know, it's kind of like the final stretch to release whatever has been blocking us in our receptivity. A lot of that is held in our womb space, right? A lot of our the majority of our abundance is held in that womb space. So definitely important to clear on it. And, you know, kind of finding that calm amongst the storm might be a little bit tricky. So just kind of, you know, allow extra time in your day to get from A to B, you know, allow extra time in your day just for you, just to kind of, you know, add an extra pocket of 30 minutes either side. If you're working, if you have appointments, if you do anything like that, allow like an extra 30 minutes just for overlap so that you can bring a bit of peace and calmness in. The more that you connect with the moon energy, with like outside and the gloaming and the dusk, the more you connect with the nature, the sun, the moon, the stars, the earth, the more you will find that any confusion around clarity will ease, right? You may not know which way that you're going just yet, but that's okay, because remember what this card, this time to take action, this new moon in Aries coming in here for the end of the week, right? For that super full moon, is like after that's happened, it's kind of like Capricorn energy of the super full moon takes control, and it's like, right, you know, it's the general. It's let's move forward here. So in the meantime, allow and be okay with allowing your mind to wander, with allowing you to delve into the subtle body of yourself, right? Because, you know, that's what's here to do the ascension. Your body isn't ascending, right? It's your soul, it's your higher self, right? So we have to allow it that time that it needs. And just know that the body will respond, that the world will wait, because we create our own reality. And this is a week that, you know, we may find that challenging. You know, this run up to the super full moon, we may find that challenging, but, you know, if we do surrender to it, oh wow. I just want to pull one final card here for kind of what, yeah, I've got divine timing. Just say one final card for the guidance. For the super full moon, everything is happening in divine timing. We can't be watching the clock, we can't be doing any of that. We just have to literally live in our bliss and our joy in the run up, you know, knowing that we're safe. This is a very important energy coming out. It's come out a few different times in this reading alone of you are safe. So there may be something that will happen around this full moon that will make us want to not feel safe, right? It will trigger a fight, flight, freeze or fawn response within us, right? And that's okay, right? But that, I think, is why fire opal is coming in here. And it's just really important to be focused on ourselves and our own self-love and bringing that through. And just know that, you know, that is that phrase, you know, this too shall pass. So, I mean, this super full moon is going to be a very, very powerful one in so many incredible ways. Because we did just look at the challenges here and what wants to transmute, right? There's a lot of this divine feminine energy wanting to transmute, right? And you know, we've got a lot of you are safe energy coming in, let go, love yourself, you know, kind of that type of thing, that type of energy coming in here. So super important. And, you know, as well, just going back to the Gemini card as well, you've got that kind of, you've got the both sides of things, right? You know, Gemini is very specific about, or not specific, but they're very, they do have the left side and the right side, and the sensitive and the insensitive, and not, I mean, insensitive is the wrong word, but when people sometimes use the word duality, and I don't, like a healthy Gemini doesn't have that duality aspect, but it's kind of like they see both sides. They can't decide between which, like whether to go left or whether to go right, because they understand both, right? But at the same time, with having both of those Gemini cards under here and seeing the other person's point of view coming up here with all this "you are safe" energy, it makes me wonder whether actually being able to have compassion for whatever may be, whatever may come up around this full moon that may challenge our ability to feel safe, because it will challenge a distortion in our womb, our sacral or our root chakra, right? Allowing us to get outside, to ground that energy, and to have compassion, to try and understand and bring forgiveness, and that energy stay in the heart space, is really going to allow a quick and swift move into this beautiful prosperity, this abundance, this action, this alignment, So pretty interesting reading. I wasn't really sure how this was going to go. I'm just going to bring out a little message here because I love these cards. Thank you so much as well for anyone that has offered donations through the donation link below or on the gift list. I really appreciate when anyone wishes to exchange energy in that way with me. It's always so beautiful. May that abundance return to you multifold. These were a gift from someone, so thank you so much, sweet soul. You know who you are. So let's see, what's one beautiful little quote just to finish off for this super full moon in Capricorn. Soften and open back into love all day long. That is it. Open into love all day long. That's your goal. That's your goal. The more you can stay in love, right? The more you can stay in love, the more you will be manifesting, really truly aligning, really releasing the denseness, the things that have come up over the past few weeks. It will literally be like a massive out breath. It'll be like many things, but I'm just going to use that analogy. It'll be like a massive out breath, I am my highest self. I am my highest self. I am the divine, right? That's what this is going to bring us. That's what we're going to realize in this full moon. I am the divine. I am you, you are me, we are one. All is well. So much love to each and every one of you. Blessings, and have the most beautiful summer solstice, winter solstice. Have the most beautiful week ahead. Have the most gorgeous full moon. And I will see you on one of the other videos or on my Facebook or Instagram. Bye for now.